here's this Abhishek Bachchan, if I were to just call it that, of a brand, right? It has tremendous potential, but somehow, just hasn't sort of, delivered to the potential. And I think at that point in time, there was a lot of conversations that we were having, right? And you were talking about an older brand to a younger audience. You couldn't have possibly gone back to the age-old formula and spoken to the older woman, because you had to really re-energize the brand and look at it from a very different lens altogether. So we said, let's talk to the younger woman and see how can she place this brand, because she's less likely to have any baggage about this particular product. Because a 35-year-old has possibly seen Livon and glossed over it. Now, how do I recreate value for it? It's going to be a slightly more, layered task. But if I were to go to a younger consumer and see if I can fit into their life in a certain way, they don't have baggage. Might be, an easier win out there. And that's where the strategic approach really was. And when we went in, of course, rounds of conversations, and somewhere we realized that maybe there was an opportunity, okay, in how the younger woman's life was shaping up today. There was an opportunity in sort of changing the framing for this product. I mean, I say that, not just that it become post-shower, post-wash, ritual, but can this become on-the-go, accessible anywhere kind of a hairstyling ritual, right? And you club that with the reality of the modern-day Indian young woman, right? It could be a college-going girl, it could be a first job, or anybody, I'm saying, typical ways of defining, right? Very mobile lifestyles, hair is exposed to a lot. They're also aware that they're trying out a lot more with their hair overall. There is usage of colors, etc., etc. There's this experimentation that is happening at one end. And then there's also the consciousness of, hey, what's happening to my hair, right? And I need to find ways and means to sort of create solutions which are practical and also, things that give me an edge in a social context, right? So if you look at her life, I mean, she's always out and about, whether it's a college-going girl, you're riding scooters, traveling trains, rickshaws, whatever you have, right? And that has an impact on hair, simply put, right? So if we call it helmet hair or whatever, typically what happens, frizz happens, right? When you expose hair with dust and moisture and humidity, especially if you're in a city like Bombay. So different things playing up, right? And then there was always this moment that we realized was the truth across every woman that we spoke to, which was she had a mirror moment. Any important occasion, whether I'm going to meet my boyfriend or my friends in a cafe, or if I'm stepping into a meeting, or any context, right? Even if I'm going to a social situation, I'm going to a party, there's a mirror moment that happens just before I enter the scene, so to speak, right? So I will groom myself, ground myself, calm myself, whatever that is, right? And that involves a mirror moment, and it's usually in a bathroom, sort of, in a restroom and a public restroom sort of space, right? So I think that's where we found an opportunity out there. There was a classic space for that product where there was a need. There was nothing in that particular space. There was water that was already there because she was in that space like that, right? And then there was a moment of truth for us, so far as building the product positioning was concerned. And that's what we did. And we said, this is your, anytime, anywhere styling agent. And suddenly the younger woman, younger women started seeing it very differently. And it was nice and convenient. It became very popular all of a sudden. And somehow we felt that it was just probably too early of its time when it was in the Indian market. Maybe it needed a sort of a market like this for it to really come into its own. And that's what really worked. So what we were looking at targets for 3 years in terms of business, we got them in the first year. And I think from a brand that had enough potential within the Marico system, I think it was pegged as one of the youth-centric, future-facing brands that would be invested in.